and we're representing the CIC, the Center for Innovation and Commercialization. And we're going to talk to you today about the Big Idea Competition. We've had 2 other information sessions, and welcome to our 3rd one. Okay, so what is a Big Idea Competition? Well, it's a competition, in this case with prize money, to determine who has the best idea for a business or a service. Okay, and this competition is going to be open to everyone in the affiliated with UTRGV, so faculty, staff, students, and also it's going to be open to folks who are in the RGV community at large. So essentially everyone in that area. Okay, having had the opportunity to speak to many folks affiliated with UTRGV as well as folks in the community, I know many people have wonderful ideas on how to improve business, business services, and also how to make the world a better place. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so the one before. Okay, there you go. So here we're gonna just take you through what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about UTRGV's Entrepreneurship Centers. Many folks don't know about them. And so we're gonna want to get the word out there. We're gonna talk about a startup tree platform. I'm gonna talk about this timeline for this project. We'll talk about the prizes that are gonna be offered and application steps, Wendy Kennedy, which is a special type of a program, and then we'll have a Q&A, okay? All right, so we have here in the RGV, as it relates to UTRGV, we have 2 entrepreneurship centers. The first one is CIC, Center for Innovation and Commercialization, located in Weslaco. If you know where the City Hall is, it's connected to City Hall. And you can see a picture of it right there on the screen, and you have a website there. There's also one, and so the Weslaco services the Edinburgh area all the way through. It's kind of a central point in between Edinburgh and Brownsville. Okay, we also have another entrepreneurship center in Brownsville called the ECC, essentially. They're in the process of getting a new building, which will be within walking distance to the Brownsville campus, and it's going to be part of the revitalization of some of the old historic buildings in Brownsville. So there's going to be some eateries all around it, and I believe it's around September timeframe when that's going to open up. Okay, but these are 2 important centers that are going to service not only the UTRGV community, but the RGV community at large. And their mission is to help the region grow economically through entrepreneurship. Okay, and so you think of assisting people who are aspiring entrepreneurs, whether they be students or folks in the community, also established businesses. So these 2 locations are going to be critical to helping to foster that business development and support throughout the region. And so we're excited about that, and we want to get the word out there for all the people so that they'll know about us, and you will look forward to seeing more things in the upcoming months related to the CIC and then the ECC as well. Okay. All right, so Startup Tree. Startup Tree is a software system. If those of you who registered and RSVP'd to this meeting, you had to set up a profile. Well, you did that on something called Startup Tree, and that's a entrepreneurship system, software system that it's the #1 one in the country, and it's used by about another 125 or so other universities across the country. You see 2 drawings there on the screen. One on the left highlights the fact that the the software is going to be able to connect the UTRGV, or at least this, our area, the RGV area, excuse me, to other universities, other chambers of commerce, business forming entities throughout the country that also utilize the software. All right, and you see on this example some of the other schools that are affiliated with it, okay? On the right, the drawing is more focused on the in our regional area, right? And so what we're looking to do is link all the things that have to do with entrepreneurship, whether it be through the university, through our chambers of commerce, through the communities, to these entrepreneurship centers, these two entrepreneurship centers that we have, and so that we can be able to assist the community to help drive economic growth in our region, right? Down below, you see the website for the UTRGV startup tree. I also included the Cornell startup tree. We're in the process of building out our software, so to speak, building out our what we call our entrepreneurial ecosystem here in the RGV. But if you can look at the Cornell website, then that'll give you an idea of what a fully built out software looks like, right? So it includes mentorship, includes internships, everything that you could imagine related to starting a business. Anything that you would need is essentially what you would have there. Okay, so all right. So here's a timeline for what we've got going on as it relates to this big idea competition. All right. So Wednesday, February 17th, that's the deadline for having your application submitted by 5 p.m. So in a week from that time, February 24th, we'll review the applications and finalists will be selected, right? So we're looking at perhaps up to about 10 or so finalists being selected from the pool of applicants, okay? On the 25th, so after we finish deciding the finalists, there's going to be there'll be a notification of the finalists that they're going to be finalists, and then on the 25th the finalists have to come to an information session where we'll talk about what they are going to need to essentially present during the competition finale, which is going to be on March 3rd. Okay. The prize money, you can see on the left, you've got overall winners. So overall first place, $3,000, second place, $1,500, third place, $1,000. And then we're also going to have some category winners, right? So 3 different categories, $500 a piece. So social entrepreneurship. So if you're thinking of, it doesn't have to be a for-profit business. It could be something to help people, right? Something that relies on donations, right? For example, a nonprofit. So you think of, perhaps you guys have seen on TV, like in Dallas, the long lines of people trying to get food who've have economic hardship through this pandemic. Well, those food companies that are providing the food, those are social entrepreneurship type businesses, right? So they rely on donations or grants, and then they're able to do things in the community. All right. Green innovation, right? So everyone's heard about the issues surrounding climate change. We're trying to reduce our carbon footprint, eliminate or at least reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Anything, alternative energy sources, anything that you can think of that fits under that category would be some green innovation, or be eligible for a green innovation award. Okay. At the finale, we're going to have an audience favorite, right? All the finalists are going to present their big idea to a panelist of judges, and then the audience is going to be able to choose whose idea they like the best, essentially. Okay. So here's the process. All right. So you got to create a profile. So for those of you who RSVP, perhaps you've already done that. There's also A second step is an intent to submit. If you know for sure that you want to submit, that you're going to submit an application, I would recommend that you do this as soon as possible. And that will, and I'll let Stephanie tell you why that's important in a minute. And then the third step would be to submit your application. Okay. And you have the links associated with that. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie and let her talk to you about the Wendy Kennedy Ideation Program.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Well, afternoon, actually. Thank you so much for being here with us today. My name is Stephanie Mendez, and I'm the manager for the Center for Innovation and Commercialization, CIC. We're the ones hosting this competition. So like Derek mentioned, we really encourage you guys to, if you are really interested and very much motivated to really, submit your application and actually this be something that you pursue, that you start your business, that you launch, we really recommend that you guys submit your intent to compete. And I'll tell you why. So through our center, we offer an ideation program called Wendy Kennedy Ideation, WKI. And this is an online self-paced program that helps aspiring entrepreneurs really develop their business ideas to take them to commercialization. And this is a $250 program that we charge for. But let's say you are really, really passionate about your big idea, and you know for sure that you're gonna compete, you're gonna submit your application to compete in the big idea competition. And this is really something that you're passionate about and you want to move forward and actually launch, then we want to help you get there. We really want to set you up for success. And so we're offering this program free of charge to you. And so the way that it works is once you make that decision, you submit your intent to compete, we will know, we will get a notification of for those of you that actually submitted that, and we will give you access to the program. We'll send you your unique access code, and so that you can go through the program. I'm gonna walk you a little bit about what this program is. It's optional, okay? This is not a requirement to compete or submit your application. This is just us really motivating you, or encouraging you to really want to take this, if you're serious about this, to help you. And so let me share my screen. Let me stop sharing this PowerPoint, and let me share my screen so that I can tell you, I can show you the program. So let me know if you see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, do you see that it says WKI online?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, so this is the program that is optional and it's free to you. It's a scholarship from us to you, and it's worth $250, but you won't pay that. We will cover that expense for you if you submit your intent to compete and you actually want to move forward on this. So like I said, it's a self-paced program. It has 10 modules. And so every module, the purpose, in a nutshell, the purpose of this program is to really develop your idea. A lot of people may have an idea, but they don't know how to articulate it. They don't know how to pitch their idea. They cannot answer a simple question of what problem are you solving? What value are you creating? Who are your customers? Who do you think are your competitors? Who's already doing this? How much money do you think you'll need? And so obviously these are tough questions to answer, but by going through the program, you will be able to answer all of those questions. And so what we're recommending is for those of you who submit your intent to compete and actually get access to the program, what we're recommending is to at least complete 4 out of the 10 modules. And so the 4 modules that we're referring to are the first 4. So module number 1 is what's your idea? And this is a module that's going to talk to you, that's going to walk you through actually, really narrowing down your idea, and actually having your idea in the back of a napkin. So let's say we were in a restaurant or in a coffee shop, and you only had 5 minutes to talk to us about your idea, for us to invest in your product or service, or for us to be partners or customers, or whatever the case is, and you had nothing to write on, no paper, nothing, and you were in the restaurant or coffee shop. You ask a waiter or waitress, hey, can I borrow a pen, can I have a napkin? For you to really have your idea so simplified that you're able to actually draw it out, and with very, very few words explain what that idea is about. Sometimes people are very visual, and so when you have something that is very complicated, or let's say you have a green innovation, or a technology that is very, very, very complicated, and sometimes you lose people. And when you're explaining your idea, they may be giving you that nod, that they're understanding you, but they're just being polite. So you don't want to get that polite nod. You want to make sure that when they nod is because they really are understanding you. And so that's the purpose of that module, to really get down to it and be able to sketch out your idea, the back of a napkin, be able to pitch your idea in 30 seconds if you were to run across someone in an elevator and you only had 30 seconds. So that's the main purpose of that module. Module number 2 is about the problem. A lot of people, have this great idea and they may be very attached to it. They're very emotional attached to it, and they cannot answer the problem that they're trying to solve, or what kind of value it's creating for people. Because you have to remember, your idea might sound really great and it may be an amazing product or service, but if it's not solving a problem or creating value for someone, they're not going to want to spend their hard-earned money on what you're trying to sell. So it has to be something that you have to be able to really, really, show the value of your product or service. And then module number 3, a lot of people, think that, well, my idea is great, mine is the best. Oh, really? Well, who else is doing it? What is different about yours that other people don't have? Where does your idea fit in? And so that's really what it's going to answer. And then the last module that we really encourage you guys to complete before submitting your application, or if you become a finalist, for you to actually pitch, is to go through the number 4, who's a potential customer. And this is a huge one, because if you don't have customers for your idea, you don't have a business. You don't have a product that people want. So this is gonna help you figure out who might care about what you're trying to build. All right, well, so what? Who cares? And so if you find people out there, a good amount of people out there that care enough about what you're trying to sell and are willing to spend their very hard-earned money on you, then you have a great product. So that is what the WKI Online is, and these are the 4 modules that we really encourage you guys to go through. And so now let me stop sharing this screen and let me go back to the slides so we can continue, and then we'll, of course, have some time for Q&A. Okay, we're back. Can you see my screen? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. All right. And I know that you guys may have some questions, but we thought, okay, let's, think of all the possible questions that people could have regarding the competition. So first and foremost, you already know the timeline of the competition. You have a whole week to submit your application through the link that was shown to you, which, by the way, we will email you the PowerPoint presentation and a recording of this session for your record if you want to go back. But just to clarify, you can submit an application as an individual. If it's just your idea and you don't have a team, that's great. We welcome that. Or if you have a team of people that you want to partner with, you can also do that up to 4 people. So it could be individual submissions or group submissions, but no more than 4 people in a team. Okay, so what happens after you submit your application? That's due next Wednesday. All right. Well, a group of people who are business professionals and business owners from the community are going to be reviewing all the applications. And so they have a rubric that they're going to go through. And that rubric, it has to do with all the questions on the application. You know, a little bit of explanation of your idea, who are your customers, who's your competition, what value or problem does your idea solve? So all of those questions that you answer on the competition, those are the ones that the judges are going to use to evaluate submissions. And so once the judges evaluate all submissions, they're going to, the top 10 scores are going to be the finalist. So out of all the applications that get submitted, 10 people, the top 10 that score are going to be the finalists, and those people who are the finalists are going to be invited to pitch their business idea to a live audience on March 3rd. So just because you submit your application, that doesn't mean that you're going to pitch on March 3rd. It has to be reviewed, and if you know it's in the top 10, then you get invited to be a finalist. So like I said, the application deadline is next Wednesday, the 17th, and then the judges are going to have 1 whole week to review. And then on the 24th, the finalists are going to be notified if they got, you know, if they advanced, and everyone will be notified. Whether you're a finalist or not, you will be notified if you made it to the second round on the 24th. Okay, so then what happens to those finalists, those 10 finalists? Well, they're going to be invited to pitch, and then they're going to be also invited to participate in an information session. And so in that information session, we're going to go over, we're going to share with you guys a PowerPoint template that you're going to use for the pitch on March the 3rd. And so we'll walk you through everything you need to know to be prepared, and so that you can feel comfortable and prepared and confident to pitch your idea on March the 3rd. And just to let you know, the finalists, the top 10 finalists who are going to be pitching their idea to the live audience on March the 3rd are going to have 3 minutes to pitch. So you have 3 minutes to talk about how great your idea is, what problem it solves, who's your competition, who are your customers, and how much money you think you need in order to get started. And then after those 3 minutes of talking about your great big idea, then you're going to have 5 minutes of Q&A. And so those questions can come from the audience, the questions can come from the judges. And so, yeah, then every team or, you know, person will have that amount. And then after that, let's say, the competition is going to take place. The final virtual, you know, finale is going to take place on March the 3rd from 1 to 3 p.m. And obviously because of COVID, you know, we can't meet in person, so it will be virtual as well through Zoom. And we'll send you the Zoom login details for all those who become finalists. And of course, last and foremost, you know, the big incentive, the huge, you know, the thing is the prize money. You know, obviously, those of you who place first, second, or third, or win any of those categories, of course, are going to get awarded your money. And we're really excited for that. This is, I don't know if Derek mentioned, but this is the very first time that we're hosting a big idea competition. We've never done this. This is our first one. So we're really, really excited to have you guys participate and, you know, win some money. And if it's, you know, something that you're really interested and passionate about, then use it to pursue your dream and start your venture. So anyway, these are all the questions that we thought you guys could come up with. If we missed anything, please let us know. We'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have, or if you guys have any feedback for us, please let us know. At this time, we're opening it up for questions. And just to let you know, if you have additional questions or you want to get in contact with us, this is our contact info, our phone number and our email. And I'll also, share with you through email so you can have the slides. So at this point, does anyone have any questions of things that we may have missed and we didn't answer?
To be honest, last night, I've already submitted my own big idea into the competition, and right now for my entrepreneurship senior project 1 course is that I'm currently also developing it as a startup um, for my own business idea with another classmate of mine, but he's not included as a teammate because for one thing, he's already have enough to do, but I just submitted this by myself because this is what I developed initially. This is what I've been developing since coming to college. So,
That's great. Well, thank you for submitting your application. We look forward to receiving all your applications. Hopefully this is something that you're really interested in and are excited about.
I just hope I get a placement so I can at least earn some money so I can save that for my startup.
Yes, that's the goal. Obviously we want to help you guys get started. And so if there's anything we can do, we're happy to. Any other questions regarding competition or anything that we didn't answer that you're interested or have questions on?
A quick question: Are the ideas that we're going to be submitting going to be copyrighted or something?
So
Are we?
All the ideas that you guys submit are your ideas. Okay, so we don't keep your ideas or anything. Derek, how does it work for faculty? If it's
yeah. So we can't, Orlando. We can't. I can't watch you pitch your idea and say, "Hey, Orlando's got a great idea. How about I just take it?" Right? No. So it's your idea. Now we do reserve the right to market you as a winner, and in that fashion through as part of the CIC, to kind of an advertisement, so to speak. But you have the rights for your projects or whatever your big idea. Okay. A couple other things I'd like to just quickly mention. I would urge all of you to, if you have time, to take that opportunity up and submit that intent to compete if you're actually going to want to do that, and take the opportunity to go through that Wendy Kennedy program. It will improve your submission, okay, by flushing out, just like Stephanie had mentioned, flushing out your idea. And so I think you'll benefit from that by having a stronger submission. Okay. Final thing, on the application itself, there's boxes where you can type in text to answer the questions you have. There's also, if you scroll down to the bottom of the application, you can attach a file, right? So one of the things with Wendy Kennedy, for example, is to have some kind of drawing or schematic of your idea. Okay, so if you do have that, there's a means by which you can attach your submission. So I just wanted to make sure I let you know about that feature on the application too. Okay.
Yeah, and I know somebody asked on the chat if we could link or we could share the links on the chat, and so I did. So if you go on the chat, you'll see the link to the actual application and the intent to compete. But if it helps, let me share my screen so that I can walk you through the actual process. So if you click on the link that I put on the chat where it says the Big Idea Competition application, it will take you to this website. This is the actual application website for the Big Idea Competition. So this is what you'll see. It will have the prize money, the timeline, and the rules. Oh, that's something that, I apologize, we did not go through the rules. So just to be on the same page, that everyone, is aware, This big idea competition is a competition where you submit your idea must be new. It must be a brand new idea. It cannot be something that is already a business generating revenue. So like, let's say you have an idea and you're already selling and getting money. That is not, it does not qualify. Or let's say you already got funding, or you got a loan, or you got a grant for that idea. That you cannot have already received funding or financing of any form, and it cannot be legally incorporated. So let's say you already have a limited liability company, or you already have a legal formation for your idea. That is not allowed. I just wanted to make sure that we went over that. But this is the page that you will see once you click on that link that we put on the chat, and then you'll go to enter now. So when you hit enter now, the system will ask you to log in. And so this is what Derek was talking about, that startup tree software. So you're gonna have to click join, and then it will ask for your name, your last name, an email. But I just want to make sure that you guys know that, I know when you log into Blackboard or, my UTRGV, you have your UTRGV account and you log in. This is separate. So it's not going to allow you to log in with your UTRGV credentials. You're going to have to create an account. And so you'll add your name, last name, your email, and you create a password. So once you have done that, then you log in. So I already did that. So let me log in so that you can see what you will see in your screen. So once you log in, you will see this. This is our page. And so you will go to more, and then you will go to competitions. Okay, so once you click on competitions, you will see the big idea competition there, and you'll see enter now. So when you hit enter now, then this is the actual application. These are all the questions that we ask. And so, for example, it's going to ask you for name of venture. This is the name of your big idea. Okay, so you'll add that on there. It's going to ask you for your name, your address, your phone number. In case we need to get in contact with you, this is very important. That way we know, who to call or email or text. It's going to also ask you to give a little explanation about your idea. This right here, your big idea name, is the same thing as name of venture. That's just something that it didn't, we couldn't take it off. But name of venture and your big idea name is the same thing. So let's say you have a name for your business, or it's just, for now, a placeholder, just name it, whatever you want to name it. It's going to ask you to give us a little bit of a, kind of like a summary. In a nutshell, what is your big idea? Why is it so cool, so great? A little brief description. It's going to ask you to tell us what problem you're solving or what value you're creating. This is, remember, what the judges are going to be evaluating you on. It's going to ask you, who do you think will need your product or service? This is essentially asking who are your customers, or who do you feel would be your customer? And then last is going to ask you your competitors. Who may be someone out there who's already doing this. And so you'll add that on there. It'll ask you if you've already received funding for your idea, how you heard about the big idea competition. And then optional, it'll give you an option to attach a drawing or a sketch, or if you want to attach any additional information that you feel was not covered in any of the questions, then you're free to do that, but it's not required. It's just optional. And then the last thing, it'll ask you for your student ID number. I know this is a required field, but since we try to edit the competition, but since somebody had already submitted their application, we were not able to edit this. So if you don't have a student ID, you're faculty, or you are staff, or somebody from the community, just put NA, just type NA, because otherwise the application won't let you submit. So yeah, these are all the questions. And then all you do once you enter everything, you just, click submit entry and you are good to go. And then after that, then the judges are going to review all applications, and then, we'll let you know on the 24th if you became a finalist or not. So I just wanted to share with you guys how the actual application looks like. Any questions on any of the things on the application, or anything else that you guys have questions or comments about?
Yeah, I had a question. What if, like, I know you guys mentioned about like the idea, if we have a drawing, it's fine. If we do want to add like a prototype, can we add that as well?
Yeah, if you have a prototype, or you have some sort of like sample, or like a visual that you want to show and you want to take a picture of it, yeah, you could attach it, or a sketch, whatever it is, the system will let you attach something.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sounds good. Anyone else has any questions of anything that we covered? Did we miss anything that you feel you still have a question on that we forgot to include?
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
It's just for clarification. People outside of UTRGV can join, right?
Yes.
Because I'm part of UTRGV, and I guess like my team is not part of UTRGV,
Yes.
so that'd be fine.
Yes, this competition is open to UTRGV students, staff, faculty, and any member of the community. So if you're not a student, staff, or faculty, and you have an aunt or a grandma or a brother or cousin that is interested, please feel free to share. Everyone is welcome to apply.
Okay, that was just for clarification.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else has any question? Okay, so somebody asked me, once the intent to submit is submitted, do we get the access code to the online WKI program? Yes, the answer is yes. So if you look on the chat, that's actually a great question. If you look on the chat, let me share my screen again. I linked the intent to compete form on the chat for those of you who are interested, very, very interested in submitting your application, but would really, really want to pursue this as an actual, business, and would like help. We want to help you. And so, first of all, do you see my screen?
Yes.
As intent to compete?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, we see it.
So if you click on the chat, on that link that I shared, you are going to see this right here. And so you'll see take survey. Obviously, like we mentioned, the system won't let you on if you don't create a profile. So you'll log in, and then you will see the survey. So where is the survey? Give me a second. Okay, so you'll put take survey, and all it will ask you is for your name, your last name, your phone number, your email, the name of your idea, and a little explanation of what your idea is. So, that little summary of what your idea is, you'll add it on here. And then, do you plan to compete in the big idea? Then you say yes, no, maybe. So if the answer is yes, we'll get notified. And then what we'll do is we will email you instructions and your unique access code. So after you submit this intent to compete and we get notified, we will send you that code with instructions, and then you'll be able to log in, and then you'll be able to log into this. And so, you know, it'll be like, let me log out so I can show you. So, you know, you'll register your code, and once you register your code, then you will get to log in. Okay, and then you'll see this. This is the portal that you will see. And these are the 10 modules that you'll see. And then what we recommend is that you do these 4. But, you know, like I said, it is optional. It is not a requirement. Any other questions regarding, you know, the WKI program or the application or the timeline? Anything else that we may have missed? Okay, and then somebody asked, when do we have to submit the intent form? The intent to compete form, you can submit it anytime before February 17th. If that's something that, you know, you're interested in, you have from a week from now to submit your intent. But, you know, we obviously, if the purpose of the access to the WKI program is for you to have a strong application. And so if you submit your intent to compete on the last day, which is February 17th, well, that is the deadline for the application. And so you're not really going to have time to go through the 4 modules and have a strong application. So, you know, just to give you kind of like, you know, an estimate of time. I know you guys are busy and you guys have a lot of priorities in your life. And so just to help you prioritize, I would say that it would take about an hour or so for each module. So you're for sure talking about a 4-hour commitment, you know, to actually do modules 1 through 4 for you to have a very strong application. So let's say you're very, very excited and you're very motivated and you already listened to the information session and you're like, all right, I want to compete. I'm very serious about it. I am going to submit my intent to compete today. So let's say you submit your intent to compete by today, and I get those notifications today. I can send you the access code by latest tomorrow. So you will have all of tomorrow up until the 17th to go through modules 1 through 4. That's more than enough time to prioritize your time to at least fit in those 4 hours into your schedule so that you can have a very strong application. So I would highly recommend, if you're interested in getting access to that program, do it today, you know, so that you can have the most time. You have a week is more than enough time to have a strong application submitted by the 17th. Because if you wait, obviously, you know, you're not going to have, you know, a lot of time. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know. Any other questions regarding timeline, competition, or anything else that you feel like we missed, that we didn't talk about or cover? Okay, so somebody asked, to get the access code for WKI Online, we have to submit our intent, then watch the videos and submit our idea application. So yes, so in order for you to get access to the WKI Online program, you have to submit that intent to compete form that I shared on the chat, and that you'll get on your email with the PowerPoint slides and the info session recording. So yes, so step number 1 would be submit your intent to compete. I will get notification that you submitted it, and then I'll send you instructions with your unique access code so that you can register your code and then log in. Okay, and then once you register your code and you log in, then you'll be able to have access to those 10 modules, and then you know, you're gonna have access to that program for an entire year. So, you know, let's say, you know, the competition's over and, you know, you became a finalist or you didn't become a finalist. Who knows? I mean, we don't know who's applying, but, you know, you're very interested and motivated to continue and pursue this. it will be available to you for an entire year from the moment that you log in. So if you sign in tomorrow, then you will have access a year from tomorrow. Okay. And then what we recommend is that you go through modules 1 through 4. And then after you complete those modules, that you submit your application. That is what we recommend. Is it mandatory? No, absolutely not. It is not mandatory. If you have your big idea, and you're excited about it, and you know what your idea is and how great it is, and you want to submit it today, go for it. Absolutely, you can submit it today. The WKI program is not mandatory. It is optional. It's a gift from us to you to help you and put you on the right path to succeed. Any other questions regarding the competition or timeline that we didn't cover? Let me see if there's any questions on the chat.
Not sure if you mentioned it, but will there also be investors as part of the jury?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Part of the jury, are there also going to be like investors or
Yes.
is it just professors from UTRGV?
No, so so there's 2 sets of judges. Set number 1 is people that are going to be reviewing and evaluating, or for lack of a better word, grading the submissions. And so they have a rubric that they're going to use to score all the applicants, so that everyone has a fair shot of, becoming a finalist. That set of group is, business owners from the community, business professionals that are going to be grading that or reviewing. We do have some investors on that group as well. And then for the final virtual finale competition, the live one on March the 3rd, which is for the 10 finalists, we are going to have business owners from the community, investors, and some professors as well. So those are going to be the judges. And then obviously, the people in the audience who are going to get to see you pitch. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I don't see any other questions on the chat. Any other comments or feedback that you guys have for us? Constructive criticism, whatever's on your mind, we welcome. All right, I guess we don't have any other questions, comments, or feedback. We want to be respectful of your time and give you back 10 minutes of your day that you.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Are you going to be sending the PowerPoint?
Yes, we will be sending the PowerPoint slides and the recording of today's info session to your email.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, any other comments before we say goodbye to all of you people in the audience? All right, I guess there's no other questions. So, well, thank you guys so much for attending our information session. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to receiving your applications. If you have any questions that you come up later, or you want to get in contact with us, let me put our information on the chat so that you can feel free to call or email us at your convenience. Okay, so it has been added. Any other questions before we leave? All right, great. Well, thank you guys for everything, and we look forward to receiving your applications, and we'll send today's slides and info session to your emails that you added on the Startup Tree account. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.